like you said, college football, I think the talent gap is decreasing as far as between teams lower in the conference and teams that are up there at the top. And I think with that talent gap decreasing, it's really coming down to coaching and dumb things during games, stupid penalties, stupid turnovers. It's starting to become a more evened out game. In a sense, there's a couple teams that are a little bit different. Right now, Alabama and Georgia are different. They are. But besides that, who knows who else is different? Oregon goes down today. I mean, you've got teams like Iowa looked really, really good, but they struggled with Colorado State the week before. Things are starting to even out. Texas A&M's a disaster now, and they were supposed to be a top team with all this talent. It's starting to even out, and I think that's where coaching, culture, all this stuff is coming in, and that's why I like the direction, of the Husker football program, regardless of the 3-3 record. Like Frost said, they were 0-0 heading into today. Looked fantastic, played fantastic.
Yeah. The landscape of college football is crazy. I mean, you had four top 10 teams lose today, and I mean, the past few weeks there's been not only upsets, it's just been there's been really close games with top teams and like a Bowling Green beating like Minnesota and like just some weird upsets. So it's just it's different. With Nebraska, I think they're finding something with some of the local kids they have right now, which is great to see. I mean, specifically at linebacker, I mean, those Nebraska kids at linebacker now are tearing it up between Reimer, Heinrich. I mean, Reimer was a walk-on.
Yeah.
He could possibly play in the NFL. So you have Reimer, Heinrich, and then who's the other kid from Nebraska at linebacker?
I forgot his last name, but I know you're talking about. I saw him flying around the field today.
Crap. Well, Gifford was in there late at the end.
No, those kids, they're playing outstanding. Huge credit to Barrett Ruud. I think he's probably the Huskers' best position coach this year because that was the one position group that Husker fans were like, I don't know about this one. It doesn't look great. But he's done a fantastic job. I mean, those guys fly around, and I did not expect that from them. I expected them to be sound linebackers, but I never expected them to fly around like they do. Like Reimer looks so fast out there. And so same for Heinrich. They're both doing fantastic. It's a credit to them. The safeties are flying down there playing in the box too, and that D-line is really holding their own. They're not letting opposing offensive lines get a push. I mean, Northwestern today had a couple deep passes, and that backup running back they had, the bigger guy, he was running well, but that was it. A couple passes, and then besides him, nothing. And that team they had no idea what to do.
Yeah, they didn't really have an answer. A couple of those passes, like I said, I mean, it was 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8. I mean, and they were throwing to a guy that was, 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. They just didn't have anything, and that's the coverage. I mean, locking down guys, and then just the pressure. So I mean, the people on a really high level right now, and it's really nice to have that to lean on. It just sucked. It's such a luxury to have a defense, that you could call it's maybe it's fourth down and you're close to the 50 and maybe you go for it because there's a good shot that your defense could come up with a stop for you. So it's just a luxury to have them playing at the level they're playing at right now.
Yeah, and even when that defense doesn't get any true pressure or a quarterback hit, they're collapsing the pocket so well. The pocket just shrinks, and that's why Helinski today was back there. He looked comfortable for a second, and all of a sudden it collapsed. And while no one was going to get the sack, that's where you just dump it down for 2 yards. Reimer's right there, or Doman's right there, and it was nothing. It was a punt for Northwestern. But I think it's important what you said about college football. I think the landscape is changing, and right now it favors the home teams big time with the crowds back into it. You're starting to see that energy in stadiums that you didn't get to see because of COVID. So that's where, advantage Huskers next week because they get that home crowd. They're going to be pumped up for that game. And that's the biggest thing that I've noticed watching all this college football. Kentucky beats Florida today because of that crowd. I think Florida had 6 or 7 false starts. They had only like 2 or 3 just heading into that game on the year.
Hmm.
and that's the crowd. That's just noise, and all of it's just it's affecting opposing teams so much right now. So hopefully, you and the rest of the gang who go up to the game next week, you bring the energy, because it's going to be a tough environment for Michigan, and if they can start fast, it's going to be tough for Michigan. But that's the key: starting fast, limiting the mistakes. They did that today. Going to need that big time next week.